Today we're going to talk about citations. During your time at NYSID, you will be asked to write a number of research papers, ranging from very general to very specific topics. Most professors will ask you to include a bibliography of the sources you used to research, and also to give citations for the ideas you reference and the quotes you use.
Why are citations important? I'll call them the 4 S's. These are adapted from the online writing lab, OWL, at Purdue University. Citations show the trail of research you have done. They help you share your sources with others. They give a shout out to other authors' work you have used. And they are a strategy to avoid plagiarism. The last S is particularly important. Plagiarism is a serious offense. Anytime you don't give credit to another author, whether it's their actual words you used or even just an idea or theory, it is considered plagiarism. In design, this also applies to images you describe or reproduce in your paper. In addition to being careful to cite all your sources, there are a few other tips for avoiding accidental plagiarism. When you are taking notes, don't just cut and paste without also noting the name of the author in the same sentence, or, even better, cut and paste the citation for your source into your notes. Or, rather than cutting and pasting at all, read through the original text and then summarize what it said in your notes without looking at the original, thus in your own words. Collect the links to images you download in a Word document or an online research organizing browser add-on like Zotero as you download them. This way you don't have to retrace your steps later on. There are a few different styles of citation you can choose between: MLA, APA, and the Chicago style. All are accepted equally. It's really just a matter of format preference, either yours or your professor's. If you have any questions about these 3 citation styles, you can look back at the NYSID Library website, where you'll see links to research guides explaining the different formats and giving specific examples. You can find them here in the central box under Guides, and if you scroll down, MLA Citation Guide, you'll also find helpful tips in the Writing a Paper LibGuide. All citations contain this basic information, assuming the information is able to be found: author or creator's name, title, publisher and or location of publication, publication date, and medium of publication, print, web, etc. We will look more closely at the MLA style of citation now. In the MLA format, the author's name comes first and is written last name, comma, first name with a period after. It is important to try to use the correct punctuation in your citations because it helps distinguish one element from another. Always use periods after the author's name, the title, and at the end of the entire citation. After the author's name is the title. Sometimes, as is often the case with blog posts, there may not be a title. Following the title is the publication information, including date of publication, and then lastly, the medium of publication. This is an example of a published book by one author. This is an example of an academic journal article citation. Here is an online blog article citation. And here is a citation for an entire website, such as the one used in the creation of this PowerPoint. Here is an example of an online image citation. The citations that we have just looked at are the type you would find in a bibliography and also potentially in a footnote. Sometimes in your papers, you may want to use an in-text citation instead, especially when you are including a direct quote. In-text citation is a good way to cite your source while still maintaining the flow of what you are writing, or to credit a direct quote immediately and clearly. When you do an in-text citation, there must always be a full citation of the work in your bibliography as well. The following are some examples of in-text citations. The first is used when you haven't mentioned your source in what you have written. This is the author's last name, Gura, and the page number that the quote came from. If someone reading your paper wants to know which title you are quoting, they will look in your bibliography for the book or article by Gura. If you have already mentioned the name of the source author in your text, as in the second example, all you need to indicate in the in-text citation is the page number. If you have multiple works by the same author in your bibliography, you also need to include the title in your in-text citation to make it clear which work the quote or idea came from. Now we have covered the basics of how to cite a source in the MLA format. Remember, if you have questions, please go to the library's website and the MLA Citation Guide, where you will find everything mentioned here as well as other instances and examples.